Week 6 of the NFL season is here, and we've still got 2 teams that are undefeated. Can you still believe that? 2.
Both teams have played pretty good opponents on the way towards their undefeated streak.
I agree. And a lot of teams, believe it or not, you're looking down the standings, there's still a lot of teams that only have 1 loss, including the Minnesota Vikings.
That has to be the most surprising team, in my opinion.
Speaking of teams that don't have 1 loss, Pittsburgh Steelers and the Tennessee Titans start off our Week 6 Thursday night schedule. Titans at home against the Steelers. The line's Pittsburgh by 6. I mean, anytime you get the opponents, the away teams
favored by almost a touchdown.
Yeah. It's done.
Yeah, Steelers are going to lay a mbop on the Titans. There's no contest. There's no way the Pittsburgh Steelers lose this game.
Oh my God, it's going to be one of those shows. Steelers, saying Steelers, Bengals and the Browns. Another just kind of awful. Bengals aren't the team like Daniel and you said in the previous show. The Bengals aren't the team from last year by any stretch of the imagination.
They're still better than the Browns, though.
Browns are just completely awful. I believe I did see a injury reports saying Trent Richardson is still on injury reports and he's still probably going to play. But
I would think he would as well as he's playing and pretty much the only weapon for the
Browns. He's had 5 touchdowns in 5 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
He's on fire.
So he's
4 touchdowns in 5 weeks. He's been an outstanding rookie this year. I'm taking Bengals on the road. I mean, that's 2 in a row that I picked the away team. This is not going to be a good week.
Bengals on the road as well too.
Rams at Dolphins. Rams are actually surprising a lot of teams right now. Their defense is actually stepping up a little bit. Their offense is it's not going to be as good as it has been with Amendola out for 6 weeks.
That's the big thing. They're going on the road. They lost Amendola last week. The Dolphins, they got to take this one home. In my opinion, I would think Reggie Bush it's kind of revitalized his career this year.
It's amazing that he's actually choosing Reggie Bush, considering he just tried to trade me Reggie Bush for Cam Newton. I'm taking Dolphins at home.
I was trading you Cam Newton for Reggie Bush. I wanted Reggie Bush. That
And
offer's still on the table, by the way.
No, it's not.
Yes,
I declined it.
Oh,
Colts at Jets. This is actually really intriguing because the Colts are actually decent. The Colts have actually shown up the past couple of weeks.
Right.
Granted, they lost 2 weeks ago, but they won last week against Green
Very
Bay.
impressive win.
Yeah, I mean, they were down 23-3 or 21-3 at half.
Mm-hmm. 18.
They look good. Jets look awful.
They need a new quarterback.
Santonio Holmes is out for the season. Revis is out for the season. Sanchez is out. No, he's not out for the season.
Unfortunately, Sanchez. The Kansas City fans need to go to the Jets and see if they can throw some bad juju on Sanchez.
Wow, you're going to pull that one too?
Yeah, I am.
Oh.
I mean, they need to figure out the quarterback situation there quickly. Either bring Tebow in as the starter or bring back Favre. I mean, either one is a better option than Mark Sanchez.
Week 6 of the NFL season, we're going to have that show. Raiders at Falcons. Do we really need to touch on this? The only reason I would touch on this is if McFadden's healthy, which he's not 100% healthy, but if McFadden's healthy, Falcons are giving up, I think they're 27th in the league right now, giving up 145 yards a game on the ground.
They could give up 200 yards. They could give up 200 yards to McFadden, and the Falcons are still going to lay a doomsop on them. I mean, Julio Jones and Roddy White, I would say they both go over the century mark in this one.
Falcons big against the Raiders. Lions at Eagles. Can we just skip this game?
We can.
Who should we even choose in this? You got a coin?
That would be the best. Wait, like Daniel and I said, they lost last week because they didn't turn the ball over enough. If the Eagles turn the ball over enough, they'll win. 4 turnovers, and the Eagles win.
I'm going to take the Eagles at home as much as I don't want to.
Yeah, this game doesn't even matter.
Chiefs at Buccaneers. Speaking of the linemen that trashed their fans, which rightfully so. Rightfully so. I mean, if you're going to cheer for somebody's
injury, do you remember that old line? There's no cheer. There's no crying in softball. There's no crying in football.
Softball? You really didn't watch
baseball,
that game, did you?
Leave their own.
I'm going to take the Bucs at home.
Women's sports.
I really am. I think the Bucs defense will step up against the Chiefs because they can.
I'm going to take the Chiefs away. The Chiefs offense has so much talent, so much untapped talent that if Dwayne Bowe or Jamal Charles can figure out how to put up 200 yards plus each of them, despite the best efforts of Matt Castle, then I'm going to take the Chiefs on the road on this one.
Cowboys at Ravens.
That's the easy one.
Yeah, Ravens at home.
I'm sorry. I think you misquoted Cowboys away. You can retry though. Cowboys away.
Baltimore's favored by 4 at home.
Yeah. I'm going against my boys on this one.
Are you really?
I'm taking my fan hat off.
Whoa!
I'm taking my fan hat off.
It is that week. Week 6 of the NFL season. He's already dropped the Umbachs. He's already dropped the Favres. And now he's picking against the boys.
And
something is wrong. I seriously think Braxton's not here.
That's right.
That's what it is.
That's right.
Okay. All is well now.
Yeah, I'm going to have to take Baltimore home on this one. Although I still believe the Cowboys can win. I believe that every single game they've ever played. It doesn't matter the odds. But yeah, I will say Baltimore home on this one.
This next game, forgive me. Bills at Cardinals. Next.
The who at Cardinals?
Next.
The Buffalo High School Bills. How many points do you think the Bills give up in this one? I bet you Cobb doesn't get sacked 9 times this week. I bet you Cobb doesn't even get touched.
I might take that bet.
Really?
Yeah, I'm thinking it's probably going to be at least 2 touchdowns, at least.
Yeah,
but
I would agree.
I'm not going to go like 30
I would say
the only
time in Arizona. I would say the only time Cobb's getting touched by a Buffalo Bills player is on, Buffalo Bills player watching this way. The handshake at the end of the game.
Sorry.
Or if they bump shoulders after Cobb throws a touchdown pass.
Patriots at Seahawks. I'm going to take the Patriots on the road.
I'm going to take the Seahawks at home this week.
Are you really?
They have a very, very good defense. Russell Wilson is awful, but I think despite his best Matt Castle effort, I believe the Seahawks defense can hold them to enough points for Marshawn Lynch to score a few touchdowns.
I think Tom Brady's going to pick apart Seattle's secondary.
Well, that's just not a very educated guess.
The big game of the week, Giants at 49ers. It's a huge game, really, for NFC playoff contention right now because the Giants are needing a big win. Mm-hmm. They really are. After a couple subpar games they've had this year, they're actually going to face a quality opponent in the 49ers.
Very much so.
And the 49ers, like you guys have mentioned the past week, have outscored their opponents like 70-something to 6 or something
3.
like that.
Yeah.
It's been retarded. So, what's your analysis?
The Giants are going to put up points. The Giants have proven week in and week out that they are capable of putting up points. What they have not proven the past few weeks is that they can stop the other offense. And Alex Smith, he's number 1 in QBR.
Yes,
man.
he is.
You can't debate. QBR is one of the most pure quarterback ratings there is. And when I see someone that's number 1 in the NFL in QBR, I have to go with him. Despite defenses, despite anything else, if you're number 1 in QPR, I have to go with you because that's the most important position on the football field. He's number 1 at it.
I'm going to take 49ers at home, but less than what the spread is. The spread right now is 5. I'm going to say it's going to be a close game like last year's game.
That's a dangerous number, 5.
Isn't it though?
Yeah. I'm going to take the Niners, but if I was a betting man, I would take the Giants
and the points. Yeah.
I don't know. They're traveling to the West. I don't know. I wouldn't bet on it. That's what I would do.
The Redskins are now playing at home with a now mild concussed RG3 after a really tough hit that he took from Weatherspoon last Sunday. The Vikings are on fire right now. Percy Harvin is probably one of the best players right now in the NFL. Mm-hmm. Getting MVP talk. I actually heard that this morning that he's actually getting some MVP talk.
That's a little
really.
It's a little premature.
Understood, but we're
at this point in the year.
Yeah. If it was a 6-game year, I don't see why not.
Matt Ryan.
Well, yeah, this is true too. Matt Ryan.
In my opinion, right now, the best player in the NFL has been Matt Ryan.
And I'm an Atlanta fan, and I didn't even go that route. But I'm going to take the Vikings at at Redskins. Redskins are actually favored in this game, believe it or not.
I can see that. I think this heavily depends on if RG3 is 100% healthy from his mild concussion. If he's 100% healthy, I would take the Skins.
He was cleared shortly before we actually went on the show. Mm-hmm. So,
but Sunday he didn't know what quarter it was or what he was doing or anything like that. So that's just, I don't know, 2 days. Two days and you're cleared.
Week 6 of the NFL season, and we're looking at the Green Bay Packers could be 2-4. They lost one game all of last year's regular season. Lost in the first round of the playoffs.
Might need Favre back.
The Packers are in complete disarray right now. They've got Texans this week, which could be a
that's
big
one of the
loss.
hottest teams. They're playing them in Houston as well. It's one of the hottest teams in the NFL.
They've got a softer schedule after that, though. They've got St. Louis and Jacksonville coming up after that. Then they face another Arizona team before they go on the road and face Detroit after a bye. Mm-hmm. But what do you think?
I can't go against Houston. Although Brian Cushing is out, the linebacker.
For the season.
Yeah, for the season. That's a huge, huge hit. J.J. Watt is just a monster.
He is.
I have to go with Houston on this one, but about 3 points. It depends. If the Green Bay Packers can turn this into a track meet, they have the athletes on the outside to beat the Houston Texans. But if the Houston Texans can manage the clock with Arian Foster like they did last week, terrifically against the Jets, I'd take Houston.
I'm going to take Houston at home. I think it's Houston's going to go 6-0. Mm-hmm. Again, Monday Night Football. We're getting into that stretch of the Monday Night Football schedule to where at the beginning of the season, this looked like an incredible matchup. Broncos at Chargers. They're just trying to throw Peyton Manning into every prime time events right now because they're like,
Manning or Brady or Breeze.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, it's getting ridiculous. I mean,
Cleveland going to be on prime time?
Don't get me wrong. Manning is actually having a decent season this year. He really is.
Yeah,
I mean, 1,500 yards right now, 11 touchdowns. He's actually doing really well. He's having some issues with his wide receivers trying to get in sync, but it's his first year with them.
Yeah, he's developing a rapport with those wide receivers that later in the season, if it does develop, that can be very, very dangerous. We saw how dangerous it was when he was with Indianapolis.
Yes, and this year's San Diego Chargers team is another coin flip. At the beginning of the season, they were hot. They were, 3-1 or something like that? Or they won 3 straight games.
Yeah, they were undefeated before they did the Falcons.
Yeah, and then the Falcons game, and then last week, it's been rough for the Chargers. So it's really a coin flip on which team actually shows up. I'm going to take the Broncos.
I'm going to take the Chargers. I think Rivers has another big game like he did last week. Unfortunately, he came up short last week, but he was playing one of the greatest quarterbacks in the history of the game, Drew Brees, who is on top of his game right now. And I think Peyton Manning is on the downside of his career. I'm going to go with San Diego this one. It's the first time Norv Turner has actually had a decent record early part of the season.
Norv Turner is normally awful, like you said.
Yeah.
But we're looking at also the bye week teams for this week. Chicago Bears are sitting at home. New Orleans is sitting at home. The Panthers and Cam Newton need to sit at home. And Jacksonville, God love them, they also need to sit at home.
Jacksonville needs the rest and they need the practice.
They need talent.
That's another huge part of it.
But for the Week 6 preview, for Bryce, I'm Billy. Thanks for watching, guys.